Aloha Ken, it was great talking to you earlier. I'm very excited for you to finish your dissertation. I know that will be a great relief. It was for me, so keep on there. You're almost there, light at the end of the tunnel. I've sent you should have received an email with an invitation to join Canvas as an observer in 4 classes. You should click on the email, look in your junk folder if you don't see it, and you have to click on the link, and then you'll be able to put in your own password, and that will have set up your user ID, and then you'll be able to log in and see the 4 classes. Now I just want to show you a few things to put that in context to help you make sense of it. First of all is our online website here, online.byu.edu. If you go to this website and click on online only students and about BYU Hawaii Online, then you'll be able to see a video here. It links to YouTube, and for some reason when I'm doing the screencast it's not pulling it up, but there's a video there. Oh, show all content. That's why. Okay. There's a video that nice and quickly that gives an overview of how we do things in BYU Hawaii Online. And then you should then have access to these classes: ASL 101, EIL 113, REL 121, and REL 211. And I've done this to give you a kind of overview of a few different types or styles of the way that we do the classes here. And actually, when I think about the MTC, I would personally do them a little bit different, because the open nature of university classes is not quite what I would do with missionaries, but it wouldn't be too far distant. I just think that the materials would be a lot tighter and maybe more developed. Each class will have something like this at the beginning, where it has a group of video tutorials showing them how to use the classes, and they're just quizzed on them to make sure they watch them. And then it just moves down the page after that. One of our philosophies, and I like the way that Canvas allows us to do this, we use their modules approach, and we start at the top of the class. So a student, when they click on a class, they go into it and then they see the first thing to do. So it says start here, click on each quiz. They just click on one, and it goes into the materials for the quiz, and then gives them access to take the quiz. So as I clicked on login and select classes, I would click on this to download and play the MP4 tutorial, and then I would take the quiz. And it's as simple as that. And then when I go click on the home page again, it goes back to that class page that then shows everything in top to bottom order, which is in date order. So the student knows that all they have to do is click on assignments one after the other until they reach the bottom of the page. They don't have to figure out any other navigational system. I love Canvas for that, and I love the simplicity of. I like to take away the guesswork of what students have to do, how students navigate a class, so they can actually concentrate on what they're doing in the class, the actual content, which is an issue in face-to-face classes. Students are often having to guess what, or trying to figure out what the teacher really wants from them, and where they find the materials, and other issues like that. Whereas in the online classes that we do, it's just top to bottom, start at the top, finish at the bottom. All classes have an introductions page. So we have the tutorials, then typically there's a syllabus section where they learn the objectives for the class, the policies, and then there's the introductions. Introductions will give you an idea of how we use the video. You should be able to see this as an observer, but I'm going to show you just so you get an idea. First of all, there is a teacher introduction video, which is the first thing at the top of the page, and it just tells them step 1, watch that, step 2, introduce yourself, include these things, step 3, watch the other student introductions and reply to 2. And this page then is full of students who introduce themselves and then respond to other students. Some of these are on the mainland, and a lot of them are in the 70 countries I mentioned. And so should we pick on somebody? From the name, I'm guessing that this person is from Mongolia.
Hello, my name is Fatma. I live in Shaba City, Mongolia. I born in Odamata, Mongolia. I had a job. I speak cooking. I like the dancing.
And then, and at the end of that, they'll share their feelings about the church. Although that was a short one, and this student who is responding to that student.
Hi Slokma, my name is Amber. I live in San Diego. I really liked your video. I liked that I think it's interesting that you like to dance and cook. Those are things I like to do. I'm not very...
Anyway, they make these connections, they see each other, it's really fun to go down and watch all these videos. You find some really neat stories, and they're really powerful when you hear them. So that's how that kind of thing looks. Just feel free to go down the class and see what you find. There'll be a mixture of quizzes. Sometimes in the Book of Mormon class there's a lot of reading materials, but also any videos we've been able to find related to the Book of Mormon materials that are produced mostly by the church. And so that's the one we're in right now. And then there's the New Testament. So the Book of Mormon class doesn't have any teacher lectures. It has videos, it has readings, it has text-based. But then the New Testament class has an actual teacher that's been filmed, and then mixed in with that the text to read and other things. So I'm going to just click on quiz down here, which has a teacher lecture in it, so you can kind of see how we do those. So there's 2 lectures and then there's a quiz. And in this case, this isn't my favorite way of doing it, but we've gone in and filmed a teacher in the classroom. I prefer it when they actually teach to the camera, because it just looks like they're looking at you and interacting with you personally. But this is pretty good. She's a good teacher, and it's not very loud. But we mix in what she would have put on her PowerPoints. We've taken those PowerPoints and incorporated them into the video, so the student can see all the materials and listen and watch the teacher. Then they take a quiz, and then they might do a video discussion, and they might do a video response or a written response. It could be a variety of different things you can look at. But they're neat and tidy classes because of the way that Canvas works, and students start at the top and finish at the bottom. Then the ASL one is kind of one of my favorites I want you to look at, but there's also this is a foundations level EIL class, listening speaking, where students do a lot of these. There's materials for them to watch and take quizzes, and then there's video assignments for them to do. So they have to practice a lot of speaking in these classes, and it's asynchronous video at this level. They do Skype sessions when they get a higher level, when they need to actually be interacting faster with people. But at a beginner's level, it's really helpful for them to be able to practice without fear, and this allows them to do that when they're doing the asynchronous video. And anyway, you can have a look down that. There's some great materials in that class. This one was developed by Rebecca Wolfersberger, by the way. She's here. She's also an expert in the EIL and the TESOL area. And then the ASL class is a really fun one to watch. It's so unique the way we do that, because nobody else has this idea of using asynchronous video yet. And so we have them at the beginning of the class. They do an introduction in English. It's the only time they're allowed to do English. But then within after the first week, then they have to do it again, but in ASL. And then I'm going to take you down to, let's look at Gospel Sign Language. This is a fun one. It's an assignment rather than a discussion, so I'll show you how that looks. What you saw before in the introductions is a discussion where each student can see every other student's submission. On an assignment, the student will watch the materials and then submit their video, but only the teacher sees the result. So they would have watched a video where there is in this case, they're all deaf. They're actual deaf people, and they're modeling the language. And in this case, the assignment is simply to repeat back those signs to make sure that teacher is doing them. And then this is what I want to show you. So the student themselves is going to repeat back the signs that they know. Okay. And then the teacher actually gives a feedback response video to the student. So they've watched a video, they've created a video, and they get a video response. The teacher saying, in this case, she's saying that she got it right and saying well done. But if there's any feedback to change that, that's how they would do it. And that's how we do. And then we can, with the speed grader, all I have to do is just click on one at a time, look through the students. It's just taking a while for the video to appear. So we go one at a time through them and then grade them over here, and the teacher can give them a video feedback. So in the ASL class, they start with foundations, where they are just given direct instruction, watch the teacher showing them how to do it, then they do it back, and then they build by then using it for some kind of discussion purposes. So I'm going to get, once they've learned about interests and careers, for example, now they actually have to have a discussion with other students, and this is, again, it's all in ASL. So that whole page now is a page of students doing ASL to each other. And again, this is still the basic level class. We have higher level classes as well. He's not very expressive. Anyway, there you see how we do the ASL classes. You can have a look at those. Any questions, let me know. And I just thought I'd just kind of give you some explanation of the things you're going to see. Feel free to ask me any questions. Great talking to you today, Ken. Good luck with your dissertation. Look forward to hearing how that went. Let me know.